What's up, Dragon Brood? So today's something a little bit different. I recently played a Boros Winota deck, but that was actually back whenever Omnath was still floating around the format, so we were looking for other options. Now I'm kind of curious, does the deck still hold up whenever there are no Omnaths around to fight? But along with that, it's just we saw this deck perform decently well in a weekend event, and I'm kind of curious, was that a one-day thing? Does it hold up here? And coincidentally, I have 3 different goals for today on Arena that need me to cast some red cards. So guess what's in a Boros deck? Red cards. So that's what we're going to do today. Y'all are going to just follow me through that. But before we do, just remember to please hit the like button. And please hit that subscribe button. And then hit the notification bell, because that's for you to be notified every time I have a deck up. So let's hop over, check out some updates to this Boros Winota deck. Okay, the bulk of the deck's going to look the same, just with a few minor changes here, but we're still going to play full set of Selfless Savior, one of the best cards we can play in here because it's an early creature, triggers Winota, and can save something, which is very key. A couple of spike-filled hazards, because the card's still good, but we want to still kind of skimp on lands here and there where we can. Playing some Seasoned Hollowblade, I kind of want 4, but the problem is here, it is a human, and that doesn't necessarily help your Winota, but it is really good with Maul the Skyclave, so I'm a little bit torn. We have a Kargan Intimidator, we're going to play 4 of those. 3 Maul the Skyclaves, because going over the top is still a way you can be effective in the new environment. And again, if you get one of these on a Hollowblade, it's really strong. Playing 3 Skyclave Apparitions, because this is actually a way to remove some threats, but at the same time, again, you get to remove something. If you follow up with Winota, it's real strong. Playing 4 Bonecrusher Giants, just all around good. A couple of Basri's Lieutenants, a great card if you search it up with Winota and get to put those counters on something and give you some protection against some of the Shadow to the Skies that we've been seeing already this past week. There are those Winotas we keep talking about, a couple of Kenrith the Return King, and a couple of Embercleaves. We are playing a couple of Stonecoil Serpents, again, because it's a thing that can trigger Winota, but it's also something to do with our mana if things just don't go necessarily the way we want to. And again, if we get equipment on either of the equipment on this card, it's actually very good. Then we're playing a couple of Shatter Skull Smashing, a couple of Plains, a Mountain, and then we're playing a bunch of the Pathways for Temple of Triumphs. And the reason we're playing the Pathways is because they count as the lands we want anyway. They're all either white or red. But if we get a Kenrith out, we can use pretty much everything but the blue one. And that seems pretty good here. I don't hate this at all. I think having those extra options to put counters on things, to gain 5 life, to give stuff haste, like all of that's still very good. Return even a Winota potentially. So I like what we got going on here. We do have a sideboard for it, so we'll get to see that throughout the day. And I think today we're going to probably try to play a couple of best of 3, which is something I don't do often for the YouTube channel, just because the games take forever when you're doing best of 3, and you only are likely going to get to see maybe 2 matches unless we have some quick 2-0s. But regardless, let's go take this pile into the arena and see what happens. All right, we get to play first at least. Let's see if this hand's any good to roll with. It's a hand, and we can do some things. You know what? We're going to keep and just try to make the most of it, I think. Probably a bad keep, it feels like. But, you know, don't know what we're up against, so we're just going to let it ride. All right, what does that mean? A Lovestruck Beast. Okay. Well, I feel like that means there is a reasonable chance that this is a Gruul Aggro deck of some type, or it's mono green. Don't know which it's going to be, so I'm going to lead with this first. And let's just see. All right. Well, now we know a thing. No blocks. Okay, this was a bit of a convenient pickup. We can play this white. This is what I'm looking at. What I'm having a little bit of trouble here is I'm thinking if the opponent plays a land, we take 3, 4, they play Lovestruck Beast, but then the next turn we could just shatter this guy for 2 and then pick both of these off, and then we don't have to worry about the Lovestruck Beast for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with this and then just set this to 3. I mean, we do get a little wrecked here if they have a Gem Razor, but what are we going to do about it, you know? I mean, I just as well could have left the opponent with only the human and then they couldn't Gem Razor, but we kind of got the outcome we expected here. And that's even better because they opted not to attack at all. So we kind of get the best of everything here. Though now I'm kind of thinking if we have a land, do we just play Kinrith? I think this is better. Man, this is difficult. I mean, we could also try to Embercleave, and that's got its own value for us. I mean, because we Embercleave it, we'd be trading for whatever Lovestruck Beast blocks, right? Ah, boy. This is so difficult. All right. I think I'm going to take the safe play, and I'm just going to hate myself later. This is what I get for not being brave. Whoa, what happened? Oh, because the clock. No attacks. Submit 2 targets. All right, we'll see if we draw a land here. I mean, they could always still have, like, Ram Throughs or Primal Mites or who knows what. All right, Stone Cold, so they can attack. Fair enough. That's actually not bad for us. We'll take the hit once. I mean, if they want to play a bunch of low-quality 1/1s, just to be able to attack with their Lovestruck Beast, we don't hate that. Now that's a problem. That is definitely not what we wanted to see. That remove stuff 4 or less. Still not a great option, mind you, but it is an option. This is so interesting because I'm sitting here thinking, like, how would this have played out potentially had I taken the other route this turn? But I mean, we really don't know. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, another Lovestruck Beast, so they can attack for 5 here. Or just going to Primal Might. That works too. That is a great play for them. Yeah, so ultimately, I don't think my actions really affected the outcome too much here. Yeah, and just not ever getting that 5th land was a big deal here. Because now, even here, I'd be able to kill the human, block here, but... Yep, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do, but it's not real sexy. All right, just pass and hope they don't have a way to pump up this 4/4. All right, Lovestruck Beast. I mean, if they attack, we have to block. I mean, that's a given. We'll go ahead, pump our Intimidator. I guess I could have blocked first, but usually the right play just to be safe if the opponent's going to give me the option to block. All right, deck. We needed a land. Oh, boy. We needed a land for like 3 turns. Really need to get this Kinrith down. Yeah, that's it. We're dead. GG's. Just missing a land drop. Having this would have been huge there. Okay, not too big of a concern here. We're going to take some giant killers. Because I think those are pretty critical here. And maybe Scorching Dragonfires. I don't really, like, I don't mind the apparitions, but I don't love them here because they do have so many, like, fight spells and that sort of thing that just make it so much less appealing. I'm not going to lean on the Sky Mauls too much. Probably not even the Stonecoil Serpents because I think they have less value here. One, that they're going to die to Gem Razors. Plus, it's just a monocolor deck. I say that. I guess it's not totally a monocolor. It is a red-green deck, but except for the landfall creature, they don't really have anything that's multicolor. And even a Hollow Blade would have been fine, I guess. I could have discarded a card to that. Would have been decent. Yeah, I don't even know what I want to take out here. We're bringing in Crowan War. Let's steal a thing. I think I'm just going too defensive might be the problem here, but let's just do this. I think I'm just sideboarding incorrectly here altogether. This is kind of what happens, unfortunately, when you're playing a lot of builds for the first time. So I know I'm definitely not sideboarding correctly. This will have to work. Hopefully we find some lands. Wouldn't mind finding a Hollow Blade here and then a land to follow up with a Maul. That would be fantastic. I think ultimately we want to do this anyway. Just to slow down the opponent, keep them off cards. While they're looking for something to do with that ever so lovely Lovestruck Beast. Alright, land deck. Well, okay, we're a land. Yeah, I guess I'll keep a Selfless Savior. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I mean, because we can play a Bonecrusher Giant, we can get a Maul on it. Like, that matters. I mean, they'll probably play some other 1/1 type thing here. I'm gonna Primal Might that. Okay, well. And yeah, it's a fair use, I guess. I mean, it's 1 for 1. What else are you gonna do with it as long as that dog was sitting out there, I suppose? Now I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's the answer if they have another Primal Might? Let's do this first. Because there are some scenarios that if the opponent plays a thing, then attacks with the Lovestruck Beast, like, you know, there's some things we could do. All right. All right, opponent's just passing here. I'm going to sit on this because I think it may be one of our paths to victory. Being able to do direct damage. Perfect. That can stay on top. Just attack with that. Alright, let's see what happens. They're definitely going to have a chance to gain 2 life, get to play at least 2 cards, I would imagine. Yep, there's one of them. Alright, Gem Razor. Not a huge surprise. Okay. Just debating, do we want to... I mean, Winota, we attack with the dog, we get something, but that's not so good. So I'm thinking I just want to do this again. And kind of just force the opponent's hand, like, hey, you find another Gem Raiser. Yeah, we have first strike, so if they want to block, that was totally fine by me. Then I think the trade-off is here, if we do lose the Maul, or... yeah, probably just the Maul is the only concern here, because if we get to keep the Bone Crusher Giant, we're not too bad off. So if that happens, then we just Winota, I guess, and hope for the best. Alright, they're going to get 2 cards. I mean, a big Ember Cleave. How big is that for? For 3? So that's going to be 10. So we can do 6, 7, 8. Can't quite kill the opponents now. Alright, sure. Oh, they take 2 also from targeting the Bone Crusher. Never mind. Yep, that's gonna do it. Alright, so they're leaving that. Okay. So we can shoot down the Gem Raiser to hit the opponent. I mean, but that's not efficient. Alright. Another Winota. Does that have a benefit to us? I could just block with the Lovestruck Beast. That doesn't really do anything. Alright, we'll decline. Whoa. Are we just dead to like an Ember Cleave here? What just happened? Why didn't they block? I assumed they were gonna block. That, I guess, was a terrible assumption on my part. I could have played that turn completely differently. What little I knew. I mean, they can still gain 3. So they're at 7, technically. Alright, juicing that up to get rid of our Maul. Makes sense. Well, now they can only go and gain 1 to go to 5. Trying to think what our potential outs are here. And why are they attacking with the Innkeeper? I guess there's another Bone Crusher in their hand? Take 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? Or they have a ram through, and this doesn't really matter either. But if they use the ram through, then they can't gain life with the Scavenging Ooze, and then we can kill them. So I would say our best plan is to not block. And just see if they tap their green mana. Ah, they had it. Okay. Well, good deal. Yep, not much we could have done. This is a bad hand. This has to go. This is a lot better. I'll definitely say that. I think we keep. Toss back. This is a tough one. Much as I don't want to, probably Winota. Mostly because I'm picturing this being played out as like, play the mountain pass. If they play something small, we try to kill it with the Spikefield Hazard. If they don't, then we just play Seasoned Hollowblade. And then that leaves us mana available for Bone Crusher Giants. You know, just to do a couple of things if we want to. Though, as silly as it is, Had we drawn, like we would have found the land for the Winota, and here we are. But such is life. Things happen. So I'm going to play this and take the 3. We're going to go ahead and kill this Hedron. Play this for 2. And attack. There's so many ways to kill a Stonecoil Serpent these days that I don't want to spend too much mana invested in it. Yeah, exactly. Blood Chief's Thirst. You can use a Heartless Act to remove the counters. Like, there's just a bunch of things there. Alright, attack with this Hollow Blade. I guess if the opponent's going to miss land drops, we're just going to go ahead and just straight up play 4 3s. And pass. I'm not going to play the land because I may want to discard it to the Hollow Blade. Yep. Short work there. Alright, well, we don't really know what the opponent's playing other than the fact that they have some small creatures. Kind of makes this a little difficult. So I think as much as I don't like this card, I am going to bring in this Outlaw's Merriment. Might be the way to go. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of Fidas ones to protect our creatures a little bit. And let's go with Phoenix of Ash so we can get stuff out of the graveyard, I think is what we want to do. I'm going to gamble and probably remove these apparitions because I don't think that's really much of what we want. Well, that's not totally true either. These decisions are tough right now. Like, this is what's making Standard both very fun and very difficult, is that it's hard to even know what to sideboard in and out in a lot of these matchups because you don't know what a lot of the decks look like unless the games go longer and you get a good look at them. You know, actually, we're on the draw, so I'm just gonna go this route and just see if this is our route to victory here. And I'm going 61 because I'm a heathen. I have a feeling this is going to go much different for us on the draw than on the play. However, you know, we can still get rid of some early mana creatures. Maybe a Cobra if they play it. This only has 2 lands, but very reasonable overall. Though it doesn't have a Spikefield Hazard, doesn't have a Bone Crusher Giant. Doesn't make us feel good. Oh, wow. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright. This feels better. Feels like a little bit of a brave mulligan there, too. Let's get rid of this and see what happens here. Alright, well, Spikefield Hazard does not take out a Goose. That does, but it might have to wait a bit. Alright, let's see what happens here. They're going to come discard our hand. Though I have to admit, I think for my money, the best version of Winota still might just be Warriors. I think... I don't dislike any of the other versions, but I think just... It feels like kind of putting in a lot of extra work to make some of these other cards happen. And the Warriors are just fine. You know, and there's enough non-human Warriors as well. Alright. So hopefully that slowed the opponent down just enough for us to kind of catch up. Oh, this is actually a Jund deck. Look at this. This is not at all what I thought was happening. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Who knew? Well, unfortunately... Kind of deciding if I need this as a second red at this point. But I think we need to gamble get rid of that Hedron. I'll go ahead and play another one of these. And attack. Yeah, plus, I think I'm in some ways just a bit underwhelmed with the Stonecoil Serpent in this build, which I'd rather that just be some other type of warrior, whether it's like the core that lets you double strike with equipment or just something. Alright, Blood Chief's Thirst makes sense. I do have to be careful about Extinction Event, because that's very likely a thing here, based on what we're seeing. Ooh, Kinrith. I mean, we can't cast you, but I don't mind having access to you, so I don't want to put that away. Especially with the opponent starting to get low on cards and potential options to do stuff to us. They already know we had the Bone Crusher Giants, so we'll just show them that. They're just sacrificing food at this point. Alright, that's pretty good for us. I mean, unless this is something like Gargaroth, that's a little bit scary. Wicked Wolf. Alright, that's a real thing. Sack some food, fight a giant. Sounds about right. How did I know what I was going to draw? That's pretty awesome. Alright, that leaves us with the option to Bone Crusher Giant. If they have a second Wicked Wolf, it's not as good here. Spikefield Hazard, no good. That, however, is good. Alright, so they only have one unknown card, which is real good for us. So, do we want to attack and try to get rid of that wolf? I say we don't. Being able to deal 4 to something is much better for us, I think. Ew. So if we're going to try to kill the wolf, we sort of have to do it now. Don't love it, but it's where we are. And the giant is better suited for battling with the Murderous Rider. Alright, that's pretty good. We cleared the way. Beginning of our upkeep. Alright, we can do that later. I want to get some stuff to keep the pressure up here. Find some cards the opponent's forced to deal with. Alright, they will take some damage here, so negating their own life gain that they'll get from the Murderous Rider if they choose to attack. They are choosing not to attack. Also, that is really good here. Don't hate that. Let's go ahead and stick this Merriment before a discard spell or something comes up. Opponent's just going to make some food. No attacks. I need to make some 3/1s. Come on, Outlaws Merriment. You never give the right thing. Give the right thing one time.
A world of monsters. This is my paradise.
Come on, 3/1 thing. Alright, that helps. Now the question is, what can we do with Kinrith? Can all gain haste and trample. So let's say we attack with Kinrith. That's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defense. But they would likely double block to kill Kinrith, which means Vivian would still take 5. I think that checks, right? So yeah, I guess it's just how bad does the opponent want Kinrith dead? Or you could block 5 on Kenrith, block there. And then you gain 2, Vivian goes to 1. But then I have this in Kenrith next turn. So yeah, I don't know. Let's try it. This feels like our best shot. I love that it's all creatures gain trample and haste, but you know. So they can keep Vivian alive. I don't believe they can do it and still kill Kenrith. Well, that's not true. I guess so. Yeah, this is fine. This all works, I suppose. We just get to keep a different creature. All right. Well, I mismanaged my math there. Got to find something to kill Vivian this turn. I guess if they drew a blank and we get the haste one off of this, this would be cool.
Beauty lies in variation.
All right, need a haste ball then. We got the one that deals a damage to any target. Huh. We could deal 1 to here and then attack into Vivian. And then if they block, well, it wouldn't matter. The one that's going to die, you still block. So that doesn't do anything. Yeah, just hit Vivian.
Try that again. I dare you.
Okay, well, that's a thing. And I love this because... Oh, this was actually... has haste. I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay. Well, that changes things. Send this into the opponent. And this into Vivian. Nope, you know what? I'm sending them all into Vivian because I don't know what this unknown card is. We might be losing all of our stuff here anyway because it could be like a ram through or something. I don't know. Just to get it onto something and onto the table. I mean, Vivian's going to die anyway. We now have Embercleave down. We can still play the Bone Crusher Giant. So, like, this feels pretty good. All right, there's a Heartless Act. That's fine. We lose the 2 lesser of our creatures here. So, I mean, I assume to the opponent that feels like a bit of a win. You know, we didn't get to kill one of their things, but ultimately we kind of got what we wanted out of this. Trailer Crumbs is great for them here with extra food to spend. Now I just want 3/1s to be able to fight the rest of these beasts. I think is our plan here. They just took land. Interesting. I guess to sack and draw again? I mean, they're getting to look at 6 extra cards a turn if they want to, but that's up to them. All right, Florahedron. I guess they don't have a lot of targets, though, right? If it's not Wicked Wolf, does it really even matter here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did get a 3/1. Boy, do I want to play this. I want to play this badly. Unrealistically badly, to be honest. All right. Yeah, exactly. Might as well trade tokens, right? All right, opponent doesn't know this, but we are at potential lethal here, even if they play a 1/1. So that's good for us. I mean, really, the only thing that's bad here, I guess, is Wicked Wolf, but then we just make a 4/5, and then we make a whatever token, and then we go from there. Interesting. They must have a lot of mana sources. I mean, I say that. They've gone through a lot of actual threats and cards here, I suppose. All right, eating the food. Now Wicked Wolf doesn't really matter. That doesn't greatly matter to us either, because we can turn this into a 6/5. Though the opponent did gain some life, so let's keep that in mind. Ooh. What happens if we double Outlaw's Merriment? Does that even really matter here? It's lifelink and haste. I'm going to put this here because that's what the opponent's going to be targeting if they do anything. Do this as well, just so there's fewer things for them to sacrifice. I mean, if they want to sacrifice land, fine. Alright, so this does make it a bit more difficult on the opponent. And if they kill our Bonecrusher Giant, we'll get a token. And then we'll have whatever haste token we get from the Merriment. So they're going to need at least a second blocker to prevent a minimum of 4 life. Because even if we get the 1... Oh, no, that would be 5, actually. Because we'd get 1 from the damage it would do. And then that would be 4. So that's the least we can get out of this. All right. We did it. All right, I think this build is fine. I think if you like the card choices here, I think I would go with it. Even against Gruul, we just had a situation where I missed the 5th land drop for 2 or 3 turns there at the end in game 1. And game 2, I made a bad block to finish the game. You know, in hindsight, I'm pretty sure I could have blocked. Then I would have been able to just double shoot the opponent and kill them and get to a game 3. So the games were all definitely winnable. So I wouldn't take too much out of that first match. The second one was cool. We just showed the resilience of the deck. And I guess I sort of sideboarded correctly. I feel like I got a little lucky though. But yeah, overall, I think the deck's very solid. My only issue is I think for my personal playstyle, I like the Warriors build better. I think because it just allows me to lean forward on the opponent a little bit more. But I don't hate this one. I actually could see myself playing this build in certain environments, maybe where there's more decks like the second one we saw where they're playing a bunch of small things or trying to ramp up. And those incremental points of damage mean a lot. This build could be good for that. I think we're in a spot though where the metagame's still shifting a bunch, and it's going to be hard to know what's better than what. You know, just a lot of different cards being played right now, all very strong, all very powerful. And I think that's good. I think just getting to see a variety of Magic. I see people saying they've made, you know, Diamond or Mythic with their own home brews and stuff right now, which is exciting. So yeah, just keep finding the decks you want to play, everybody. Standard's really awesome right now. So take advantage of it. Enjoy the moment. Let's not jinx it. Hopefully it stays that way. Knock on wood, you know. But yeah, I think this deck is totally viable, can be competitive. And what you saw too is we won games without even getting a Winota, which is very nice. So don't know. I dig it. I think the games where you get Winota, you're just talking about supercharging your draws, but definitely has a lot of reach without Winota, which is what I think these decks should be trying to do. Like, find ways to build to where you can win without Winota, so it's just a bonus whenever it does happen, and you're not leaning on that. Because you'll get opponents that are going to target Winota or plan around it, and if you never draw it, you almost leave them with dead cards, or you really kind of wreck the strategy they were working toward, which is a benefit. You almost can play Winota as a red herring in a way. But yeah, if you haven't, remember, please like this video, hit that subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I have a video up. That's all I have for you for now. Enjoy playing Standard while it's awesome. We'll see you next time.